So I went this past week, or the weekend of the Haskell, I decided to drive down to Monmouth-Aug, which is about a 9-hour drive. My parents were nice enough to come with me to share the driving and to do the experience as well, so it wasn't quite as bad as it could have been. We got in Thursday night, and then Friday morning it was the first of what they were calling Pharoah Fan Fest, and they were having lots of different things where you could see American Pharoah or do different promotional stuff at the racetrack. So Friday morning was a day that he was going to gallop over the track, just once around, or preparation for the race. And it was scheduled to start at 7:30. This is probably 6:45 in the morning, and the parking lot is getting full. There turned out to be 5,000 people there that morning to watch him go once around the track, and it was probably one of the best things that I've ever experienced. Just all those people there for one horse, one very special horse. I love this shot. People walking in. I've never experienced a Triple Crown winner before, and some people have, other people haven't, but this just shows the generations that can enjoy racing and enjoy horses going into the track. It was quite neat to walk in with all these people. Again, this is on the track. From the finish line all the way up almost to the quarter pole, people lined up just to be as close as they could to watch him go. Lots of media in attendance. There were like the big cameras from the local stations. I switched from video camera to my still camera to get some close-up shots. And Anthony's right. It's just like he's got this stride. He just flows.
An incredible cruising speed. It's nothing like I've ever seen in my life. I've been watching racing since I was in diapers. Unbelievable. Really.
So yeah, he's getting chills looking at the photo again, just remembering him going right in front of me.
Freak of nature is the best way to put it.
Getting cheered by the 5,000 people that were on the wire. So that was Friday morning, so he worked from 7:30 to probably 7:40, and then went back to the barn, and at like 10 to 1 was the first race, and before the first race he was scheduled to go to school in the paddock Friday with the horses from the first race. So as soon as he was done on the track, I went and found the best spot to stand, which was right here. So my dad's there with me, and then there was another guy who was just a local from New Jersey that wasn't working that day and wanted to come, and so he stood with us for the next 4 hours while we waited for the horses. It was definitely worth it. But beautiful walking ring, just these giant trees. It reminded me a lot of Woodbine trees, just a different kind of trees. Gorgeous resort-like racetrack. Here he is coming in, and you can see there was nobody until the announcer started saying, you know, American Pharoah is going to be here. So the track, or the walking ring rail got crowded with people with the cameras. The news crews got inside, and American Pharoah walked around.
What a big horse.
He's big, but not like he's beautiful, but not as imposing. You look at him, and you know he was a nice horse, but you wouldn't know that he was like a special horse. Apparently he doesn't like noise, so they usually put some cotton in his ears, and there were people either running, rushing to the fence, or something about in the tunnel. He didn't like that, so he spooked a little bit before he got to this point, but then the rest of it went smoothly. He was fine. He walked in the saddling area for quite a while, and he kept looking at me. Just like, come to that spot and stop, stare over at us. See all the media there, all the people. This is a video of him walking in the paddock, or in the saddling area.
Louis, Espérance not show up. It's you.
got really close to me, looking at me again. Just felt like I could almost reach out and touch him. And then he went back to the barn, which is on the track. So I can run faster than American Pharoah can walk, because I left the spot. Ran to the track so that I could see him a little bit more. Security guards going with him everywhere he was. And this is just, again, in front of the grandstand, the Pharaoh Fan Festival, PH, that they had for the weekend. A traditional Haskell thing is a sandcastle. The track is only a few miles from the beach, and so they build a sandcastle every year. And the grounds are beautiful. This was their Breeders' Cup cart, so they had these jockeys everywhere on the track. They're major stakes races, and this was the Breeders' Cup from 2007. That was at Monmouth there. The hat contest is one of their fan festival things. Touch Gold's one of his races. And Merrifield, the Canadian horse Breeders' Cup race out here. So it was, we had to go to the ocean because we were right there. So we spent a day at the beach, and you can see the New York City skyline right from the beach there. And they have a commuter ferry that goes back and forth from New York City to the sandy hook beach there. And it's used by locals just commuting, but then also people coming from New York to go to the beach. So we took it as a tourist thing and just went to New York to look, and then didn't get off and came right back. But I'd never seen New York up close, and it's a cultural thing that I felt like I had to do. Statue of Liberty. And on the way to the ferry, they had like lots of signs for American Pharoah. This was just the local fire department had a sign. You could tell the morning workouts, there were lots of locals just coming. They were maybe not sure they were going to come to the race just because of all the media reports about massive crowds and not being able to get in or out of the parking lot, but they wanted to come to the workout. So everybody, local and people from far away, were there. It turns out, later reading on the internet, there were some people from Australia and some people from the States that had come. So me coming from Ontario wasn't that crazy. This was Saturday morning, so he did another workout on the track. And after we saw him, we went on a backstretch tour. So they had a little tram that took you, well, first it was a walking tour to the jockey's room. You could see the silks, and then she did some talking, and then we were on a tram through the backstretch. And everyone was friendly. There were lots of people waving and saying hi, and it just, including the people we were waiting in line for 5 hours with, it was just, it's not my impression of New Jersey. I would just get that feeling that they're, urban people that are kind of rude, and maybe they are in some respects, but this weekend they were just totally friendly and nice, and it was amazing. View of the track. Changed their sign on Haskell Day to Haskell Day, or on the American Fan Festival. And we just happened to be walking in when they had the winner's blanket go by us. So I was, again, very tempted to reach out and touch it, but there were security guards with that too, so I didn't, but it was pretty cool to know that would probably very soon be on American Pharoah. And then I saw this guy everywhere. He has an American Pharoah outfit with the Pharoah turban and the American stripes, stars, and his daughters are all dressed up too. This is his daughter. This is my seat for the race. This is the Pharoah guy was not too far down for me. This is lots of stakes races, that card. So this is Wildcat Red, who ran in the Derby a year or two ago. I think he ended up winning his race. And this bay out in front is an Ontario bred called Heart to Heart.
Great horse.
Yeah.
Nice swing, the wire.
She's because a white heart, exactly, heart on the forehead.
The Victor Espinosa and the next race was Pharaoh.
At this point, I stayed in my seat to watch the race, but because it was a busy crowd, but it wasn't anything like when I went to the Belmont 2 years ago. We couldn't really. This was still open spots, people sitting in seats, but then also in the backyard area on the chairs with the grass, and you felt like you could get up and walk around, having a seat. I didn't feel like I had to stay in one spot, so it was very nice. But just before this race, I was getting quite nervous. I know Anthony thought he wasn't going to lose, but I don't know. I just was very, very nervous for some reason. And it was, I don't know, maybe just the anticipation of seeing such a great horse. They come from the barnyard walk past the crowd to go to get saddled. It's number 4. I didn't think I'd have time to get to see him being saddled and back to my seat because we were not a crowd, so I stayed there. And then another Haskell tradition that they have is playing the Bruce Springsteen song Born to Run before the race. And I knew they did that. I'd seen it on television before, but I'd forgotten. So the horses come from the paddock through this crowd of massive people and have the song blaring, and the whole grandstand starts singing. So it was really neat to see. In the video, but anytime the announcer said anything about after the song or American Pharoah or doing the post parade, it was a huge cheer. And then they booed their governor when he was presenting, so that was a little weird. Cheer, 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 boo. Post parade. This building here with the white jockey statue on it, the jockey will be painted in the colors of the winners, but it's the scale house, so when the jockey's done, the race has to be weighed, so they go in there. And I don't think I have any pictures of it, but my mom was down in that crowd somewhere, she didn't have a seat, and she said what she was noticing was that the jockeys that weren't riding in the race, so all the Monmouth-Aug jockeys came out, were standing on top of that for the race, and there were other media reports about it after that some race trackers had never seen that before, and you'd come out and watch, just because it's Triple Crown winners, so you have to come on. Again, lots of crowd in the sort of non-ticketed area. Break from the gate. And he jumped to the lead really easily, but because the sprinter, competitive edge, he really wanted the lead, so Victor let it go. And he just kind of sat second for a lot of the race until he passed them. And then just went on super easy. You can tell the other jockeys here are really riding, but Victor's just got a huge hold of him. Floating to the wire. And I took this picture, this was the last one I took for it, because it's sort of coming towards me, and then I came down the stairs and walked the wire. Really neat. A lot of times the stage races, they just stop at the winner circle, but he took them the whole length of the grandstand, turned and came back. Which, again, was cheered like crazy. In a lot of the photos, when you blow them up, you can see track workers taking pictures of him too. So the pony girls were taking photos, and there were some turf course workers down the stretch that I could see on the pictures were taking pictures, and it just everybody was just in awe of him.